Hi you guys, it's Kimberly. I'm going to try something here, and I thought I would just turn on my camera and show you guys what I'm doing. Now, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I thought we would do this together in case it works. So I've got 3 of my spray bottles here, and what I'm going to do is go get a funnel first of all, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my funnel, and what I'm going to do is, instead of mixing this with water, I'm going to put alcohol in here because I want an alcohol spray. For one thing, because I am going to be putting this spray, my funnel is a little large. This is the, oh no, it fits in there just perfectly. This is the smallest funnel that I actually have. I'm going to be spraying this on some acetone. So I want it to be more of an alcohol spray because I want it to dry quickly. Okay, so I'm going to fill this up. I actually put a little bit more in here than I wanted. I want it like 3/4 of the way full because I want enough room in there to shake it. And with the funnel, it just makes pouring easier. Okay, that one's, you know, not quite as full. It doesn't matter. This isn't an exact science. Now, all I have to do this with right now is paints. I did order some egg coloring dye from, where did I order it from? It's from another country. But of course that's not going to get here yet. I am going to go to the Dollar Tree and try to get some of the LA makeup. I think it's, is it LA Gear or LA Girl or LA, I think it's LA Gear eyeshadow pigment, the mica eyeshadows, but I haven't yet. So I'm just going to do this with paint for right now, because that's what I've got. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick, you know what, and actually I think I'm gonna get the paint that was sent to me by Plaid, so hold on a moment. Okay, so for one of them, I think what I'm gonna do is use this Martha Stewart paint in the pearl. In this color, it's a blue, it's called Splash. These little toppers are pretty hard to get off. So you've got the little foil piece on there, and then you've got plastic on here, which is actually smart for them to do, because I don't know how many of you have ordered paint or even just bought it at the craft store only to have it leak in shipping or transport. Now I'm just going to squirt some of this in, and I'm going to go do a good couple of tablespoons. So this is 2 fluid ounces, and I just squeezed in. I just eyeballed it. Like, I'm not doing exact measurements here. Now I have to cut my tubing. I don't want to shake it with the tubing on there, because as I shake it, I don't want that paint to get up in there and clog it. So I'm just going to put my finger over the top of this and shake. That looks pretty good. I can see the pearl in it. Where's the one I cut? Here's the tubing. I'm going to save the tubing. You never know. You never know what you might want tubing for at some point. It looks pretty pearly to me. I'm I'm just going to give it a spray up here on my paper. It's not real super dark, but it wasn't a real super dark color either. Okay. If I wanted it darker, then I could definitely probably add some darker paint into that. So let's see what other color I have in here that is pearl and satin. Okay, so that's the only one I'm going to be able to make with the Martha Stewart because they didn't send me very many pearl colors. So let me look in the Deco Art paints that they sent me. I don't know that they sent me any pearls. They did send me a silver metallic. And that is the only metallic that they sent me. So let me look in my regular paints. So yeah, I've got that purple, and I really do like the Anita metallics when I do these glitters. This might be pretty. I've got this red. I'm looking for more of the darker colors. Instead of using my little Deco Art metallic, I think I would rather use the cheaper Craft Smart. I've got this one, but I have that color. No, you know, I'm almost out of it, look. So maybe I'll mix that up. I don't have a lot of metallics. I definitely need to go get some more metallic paints. Okay, but I have a couple of options here. Let's do the red, because I think that that would be really pretty. So I'm going to squirt some red in here. And again, I squirted a good couple tablespoons in there. And I am going to once again place my finger over because I don't want my sprayer to get clogged. Now I also heard that if you put a bit of like a glossy accent, I don't have glossy accent, but I have this liquid glass, which is a lot like that. If you put just a little bit of this type of glue in there, of course mine is clogged. I heard if you poke a pin in here when you're done using it, that it won't clog as easy. I didn't do that with mine. Of course mine doesn't want to come out at all. Oh, I heard air. Let me get a bigger needle here. This needle's too big. There we go. So they still doesn't want to come out. Come on, I know you're thick and gooey and that hole is just too small for you. There we go. They say that this will give your spray a little bit of sticking power to it. So I'm not going to reopen that blue that I did, but I am going to add a little bit to this. And I might go and pick up some glossy accent just to add it to my sprays if this helps. So I'm going to mix this up pretty good. And again, what I'm using is the Deco Art liquid glass. Okay, so let me cut my spray bottle, my sprayer. Save my plastic. So there's that color. Doesn't look as shimmery as the Martha Stewart, but we'll see what it looks like when I get it down on my acetate. This one looks really shimmery, and it could just be because of the color. Okay, and then we've got this one, which I think I'm going to do the purple. I should have shaked that red because it's been sitting there. That could have been part of my problem. I should have shaked it because the mica does go to the bottom of the bottle. I'm going to put a good couple of tablespoons in there. I'm going to add some of this liquid glass. There we go. It's coming out. Now you can see it in there. Whoops, wrong cap. So see, you can see that in there. Shake it up. Looks like worms, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it real? Say hi. 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 Yeah.
I'm going to cut this. I'm just cutting these at an angle. Okay. And I am going to take this red and I'm going to shake this time just to get more mica in there. And add a little bit more. I'm going to shake it out the sprayer. Okay. So what gave me the idea, one thing is I wanted to use my sewing machine. You know what, while I've got this out, I'm going to mix some of this. Just because I use this on a lot of things and I love this color, but this time I'm going to mix it with alcohol instead of water. And the only difference between the alcohol and the water is the drying. It dries faster on your project. So I'm going to, oops, nope, don't want to do that. I don't want to get paint all over my funnel. I thought that was a glop of paint, but it was wet paint.
You're smart.
And I'm going to squirt a couple tablespoons of that. And I'm not going to add the glue to it. I shouldn't have shaken it with my sprayer on there, but let's hope that it doesn't clog. It may have clogged it. Which means I'm going to have to unclog this sprayer. Will you get me another spray bottle and spray it? Wait, I might have one under here. I might have one in here actually. Do I have an empty one in here? Yeah. We'll use this one that I already got prepped, and then I'll have to clean this sprayer out. And then just to make this go further, let's see if I can get it in there without getting it all over. I'm going to go ahead and fill that up. Okay, and then I'll unclog this bottle.
I love you, Grandma.
I love you too.
Grandma, can I put this back in here?
Turn my space out of my space. These little caps I'm going to save because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those makeup sponges in here and make little daubers with them. So these are the caps off of the spray bottles before I added the sprayers, and I'm going to make little daubers. And then I still have some of my pink, and I have my little Tattered Angel sprays here. And I also have my deco art that they sent me. So I have a little bit of choice here when it comes to spray. So this is what I've got. I've got the splash that I just made. I've got the red, the purple, the turquoise, and the pink. Those are all homemade. I should put the colors on those. I will. I'll go back after the video. I've got the Deco Art Misters in turquoise and carbon black. And then I've got the Tattered Angels in the pink, the blue, and the purple. Okay, so what I've got to spray these on is some, I don't know where I put them. These are printable sheets that you can send through your printer for like overhead projectors. And I don't like them because once you get water on here, any kind of fluid, they distort. I got these really cheap on Amazon because I got these, what I wanted to do with them was to print images on here to make clear like stamp images to put them over backgrounds. And I have used them, but I don't know if you can tell, they're kind of cloudy. And so that's what I didn't like about them. I have used them a couple times, but they, like I said, they were fairly cheap. And that's probably, they're just not very good quality. I've put some stuff down here because I don't want to spray my desk. And these sprays can kind of go all over. I'm going to put another one up here just to protect my computer a little bit better. And another one out here. Okay, and then I'm going to spray these to see what happens, basically. I just want to see what happens. So let's take the red. This is the one that I just made. Let's spray this. So what I was getting at is I've been wanting to get my sewing machine out to sew something, embellishments, tags, to do something with my sewing machine, just to make some stitch marks on it, to sew papers or fabrics. But what I did last night is I watched Cindy Utter, or Uter. I don't know if she pronounces it Uter. I think she pronounces it Uter. And she made these gorgeous tags. And she sewed some acetate that she had done alcohol inks on. And they were absolutely beautiful. And they were just the leftover pieces that she had used after she made some acetate tags. So she just used the pieces that she had cut out, you know, the leftover pieces, and some dictionary pages. And she like just sewed them on some tags and then did some stamping on them and then sewed them onto the tags with her sewing machine. And I thought that they were just fabulous. So I thought, well, I want to do some sewing stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to make some, I don't have alcohol inks like she does, but let me see what I can do with sprays. So here we are, spraying. Now this is by no means the same thing as alcohol sprays or alcohol inks, but I figured the alcohol that I mixed in here instead of water would help my drying time, since this is an acetate plastic type of a material that I'm spraying on, which will help it dry and not get this plastic upset, because ink from your inkjet printer is a very fussy stuff. Let's put some of this pink. And I am overlapping the sprays. Now the alcohol is very strong smelling, but after you mix it and it sits for a while, that smell does dissipate somewhat. So if that's bothersome to you, know that it will settle down a bit over time. And if you absolutely just cannot stand the smell of the alcohol, then by all means use water. Again, the alcohol is just to decrease drying time. So you really do have to shake these well to get that mica mixed up. This is the Tattered Angel. Much darker color. Okay, so I think I'm going to hit this with my heat gun. Okay, now obviously this is plastic, so you want to be careful with your heat gun, number one. Number two, this isn't porous. This isn't like paper. This really doesn't have anything to soak into. It's just going to have to dry. So I can blot some of this off to help it, you know, some of that moisture. Which is fine, because you guys know I like to use these paper towels for projects. So getting some of this color onto the paper towel, it's not going to distort the spray that's already on the acetate itself. Okay, but it is going to take a bit longer for this to dry because it can't absorb into anything. It just has to sit on here and dry. But you do have to be careful with the heat gun because you will warp the plastic. I mean, as you can see, it did warp it a little bit here. So to get that initial wetness off, I think is fine, but to sit there and heat gun it until it's absolutely dry, I think would just be counterproductive. Because I think to air dry it would just be better. And so this is the side that you would put your ink on in your printer. And so see, this would be the side that you would want face up. Because then the ink is underneath and it has more of that glossy finish on it, whereas this is the duller side, the duller side. So this is the shiny side, this is the duller side. Okay, I think that it looks cool. I can probably flip it over so that you can see the shiny side. I think that looks so cool. I like it. I'm not done yet. I want to put some black in it. So you can see down here where I sprayed the Tattered Angel, see how it has the gold in it? That's because they've added gold mica into theirs. Well, we're going to do that with mine as soon as I can get to the dollar store and get some of their gold eyeshadows. You can do the same thing with any of those same ones that I've made. I could make my purple darker by adding some darker paint to it, or darker dyes to it, even by just adding some Ritz dyes to my sprays. I can get this darker color, and by adding some gold eyeshadow to it. Now you want the powdered eyeshadow. You don't want the kind that's already compressed. You want the loose stuff. That's why people are using the LA Gear eyeshadows that you can get it other places. The reason why people are getting it from the Dollar Tree is because it's $1. Now if you look on Amazon or even Walmart, I think sells it for $1.39. You need that loose powder stuff because you don't want all of the additives in it that they've used to compress it. You want the loose stuff so that it mixes well in your bottle. But that's what's given it this. Now, they probably buy their mica powders, you know, in bulk. They're not buying the LA Gear stuff. They buy it in bulk and add it, which you can also do. You can buy it in bulk. You would just have to search for it. But that's what's giving them this gold. But you could add it to any of this and get that same effect. You could also buy the silver or the pearl and get the pearlescent look to it. But that's what's giving them their gold. And see how it sits on top? So if I flip this over, you can't see the gold because the metallic sits on top of everything. It's lighter than the actual paint. And so it sits on top. So when I flip this over, I can't see the gold on this side because the metallic sits on top because it's lighter. When you spray it. Okay, so what I was saying that I wanted to do, and I don't know if this is even going to matter because this is now going to, whatever I put on it is going to sit on top and it's probably not going to show through on the other side that much. I just wanted to spritz some black on here. Just to give it some more definition. And like I said, I don't know if you're going to be able to see a whole lot of that on the other side. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so we'll let that dry. And then that's it. These deco art sprays, they have a strong odor to them. I don't know what that odor is. It's not alcohol. I don't know what it is. They say that they're water-based. But I don't know what that odor is. It's a real chemical smell. It's stronger than my alcohol sprays, so I don't know what that smell is. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this dry. And their sprayers, like when I just sprayed that, it went all the way up to the paper towels that I have sitting up onto my computer. So their sprayers are definitely a lot more coarse of a spray than the misting bottles that I got. Okay, so I'm just going to set these up. Now Cindy used dictionary pages, which were absolutely beautiful. I'm going to use some book pages. And I have some scraps of some book pages that I'm just going to pull out of my scrap thing here. Some of them already have some spray on them and some of them don't. Like these already have sprayed. That one's pretty small. So I'm just going to lay these ones out. Now she just used the plain paper. She didn't put any color, which was absolutely beautiful. Like this one has a little bit of spray, or actually this was a watercolor transfer. I'm going to just lay these out. No, I don't need to do it on that one. I'm just going to add a little bit of color to them. Not a lot, just a little. Let's do... I really, really like this one that is blue, but it has a lot of the gold in it. So let's get that all mixed up. I'm going to add some of that over here. Maybe here too. I want to go back to Tuesday morning, and I wish I would have gotten more of that Tattered Angel spray, because it was only $2.49, and looking online, the cheapest I can find it for on Amazon is $5 on sale on some sites, and most places it's $7.50. So now I'm kicking myself thinking, why didn't I just buy all of it? See, these bottles are so leaky. And see how coarse they spray? They're not a very fine mist. The colors are nice, but it's not a very fine mist. And they're just messy sprayers. So something to think about when you're going to buy the deco art. You know, you could always dump these into finer misting bottles, which I might do, because I like the sprays fine. I just don't like the sprayers. Okay, so that you guys don't have to sit and watch paint dry, I'll be back when all of this is dry. Okay, so this is what I've got. I like the shiny side of this, but I'm going to use the matte side because I just think it looks more mixed media than the shiny side. So I thought about these tags Kat hand sent me when I won her giveaway. I haven't used them yet, but I think I'm going to use them for this project. I don't know that I'm going to make all of these. I might. It just matters on how long it takes me to do this. I was just going to kind of cut these up in random shapes, but the more I think about it, I kind of want to cut these up into shapes, and I'm leaning towards a heart shape. So I am going to get a marker. And I think I want to do hearts, of course, right? I'm a heart kind of a girl, so I am just gonna draw. Now they can't, these tags aren't real big. These tags are only 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. So they're not extremely large. So I can't go crazy with the size. And I went kind of random heart. Now is that going to show through? Yeah, so I can't make those kinds of mistakes on it. They have to be what I draw. I thought about cutting them out on my Cricut. But I don't want them to be that perfect, I guess. So I'm just going to draw some hearts. That one's probably too big. And I'm going to cut these out. So instead of you guys watching me cut these out, I may just fast forward through this or come back after I'm done. I'm still going to have some scraps. Or I may have a whole nother sheet because I did do 2 sheets when I was spraying. So we'll see. I might be able to sew 2 hearts onto each one of these. We'll just see what happens. If you know, and another thing, if you want to take the ink off, I'm sure that rubbing alcohol will take these ink lines off. If you're good at cutting out hearts, you may not even have to draw the hearts. You might be able to just freely cut. But I kind of wanted them all to look random and not perfect, so that's why I opted not to cut them out on the Cricut. I just wanted them all to look a bit random. And okay, I'm back. So what I've done is I've cut out the heart shapes, and then I've just got a piece of alcohol. So where I drew the heart, my alcohol dried up. I just put a little bit of alcohol on a cotton ball, and I'm just taking those black lines back off. Just by wiping it, and I'm wiping it away so that it doesn't take the paint on the other side off. It's kind of hard to grab these. If you wanted to, you could leave those lines on there, just, you know, but I don't want them on there, so I'm taking them off. So it's just your personal preference. Comes off really easy. Okay, so I got all of that off. And so these are my tags. And so I just took the paper that I sprayed and I just kind of ripped them randomly. I am going to glue it so that it stays in place when I run them through the sewing machine. I suppose you could skip this. But I do want all of the edges to stay down even after, because obviously I'm not going to go around each of these pieces of paper with a stitch. I'm just going to randomly put a stitch onto here to add another layer of dimension. So I just randomly ripped up the pieces, one of each of the colors. So a small piece of pink and then a bigger piece of the bluish background. Oops. Just, you know, no rhyme or reason to it, just sticking it on there. Okay, then I'm going to take my heart, I'm going to put the glue on the shiny side because I want the sprayed side, the painted side, to be up. So I'm going to take a bigger heart and then one of these smaller hearts and just randomly place them different spots. Okay, take my next one and do the same thing. Just gonna rip the piece. Now, even though I got this idea from Cindy, and I'll link her video below so that you guys can see how beautiful hers came out, I've changed it up, and that's what sharing our ideas with you are all about, is just, you know, taking somebody else's idea, and her tags were absolutely beautiful, and I loved the way that she did them and everything about them. But that was Cindy's way of doing them. And this is just my way of taking her idea and adding my way of doing it. You know, I thought that Cindy's were beautiful and I loved everything about them. But I can't copy hers because that was not because, I mean, I probably could do a bit, you know, I could copy it more than I am here, but that's just not my style. That's Cindy's style. And I, not only did I want to do them my way, but it would be really hard for me to do them Cindy's way. You know what I'm saying? So this is just taking her idea of what she did and making it my own way. So don't ever think that you have to, you know, take somebody's idea and copy it. That's fine to get somebody's idea, but then make it your own. That's what, that's why we share our videos with you, is so that we can inspire your ideas. And we like to see how you can take what we've taken from what our mind and what our hands have created, and it gives us great pleasure to see how you take that idea and turn it into your own. And then we're amazed by it. We're like, wow, that is like so awesome that my idea inspired them to make that beautiful piece of art. So we don't want to see you mimic what we've done. We want to see what we've done inspire you to create your own. That's what's flattering. So see, all of these are just different. They're all different. None of these are the same. I'm not really even thinking much about how I'm doing this. I'm just making sure that the piece of paper fits on here. So I'm going to take this bigger piece, put my glue on my shiny side. I think I'll put my bigger heart down here this time. And then I think I'll take this one because it's got pink in it. Glue on the shiny side. I think I'll put it this way, more up here in the corner. Okay. I could even put a third heart on this one since it's got that space in the middle. You can put as many as you want on them. You're only limited by your own imagination. Okay, so I've got a few little hearts left over. These are the ones that I made before. So we've got that one, that one. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Okay, so we're done with that stage. So the next stage is to put the sewing stitches on these. So I am going to turn the camera off, bring my sewing machine over to this area and get it set up. So as soon as I get that done, I will come back. Okay, now I know that this isn't the best angle, but this is the best angle that I can get you guys at. So I'm going to choose a stitch here, and I'm just going to choose a zigzag. So let's, I think I want number 4. Okay. I want my stitch to be pretty wide. And I'm just going to do some random stitching on here. It's not gonna make any rhyme or reason. Let's make sure that my stitch is set at a good space. And I didn't do any kind of a back stitch. It's been a while since I've used my sewing machine. It's amazing how quickly you can forget what buttons you need to push to make it work. So I'm just gonna cut these loose strings off. So look, that's pretty cute, right? I think I'm gonna run one more down the other way.
Her really handsome. Her really beautiful. Good girl. And soon will be mine. Wait, Emma.
Okay, and I think I'll do one down this way.
I think I want to do one look like that one. I call it a ref zone machine. Yeah, and I ain't going to use that one. I make dresses. Remember, I'm going to have a ref zone machine.
So look how cool that looks. I love it. And you could keep going, you know, you could do stitching all over it if you wanted to.
I really like it. Me too.
Now just so that that doesn't ravel,
I think it might do stitch.
just so that this doesn't ravel a lot, I'm just gonna put a stitch, just a drop of glue, and kind of press it into where I started the stitch on either side. And where I ended it. Okay, and I like the pink thread. I think that looks good.
Is that going to do a different kind of ring?
And we're going to do some more to it, but I'm going to speed you guys through the process of sewing all of these, okay? Okay, you guys, that was honestly so much fun. I don't know why I don't do more of that. So this is what they look like so far. Honestly, why don't I do more sewing in these projects? I don't know, but I'm going to start. I was going to use black thread, but then I thought, no, you know, Kim, pink is your favorite color. Use the pink thread. So I did, and this is a quilting thread, so it's a really strong thread. And I didn't know if it was going to work well, but it did. It was perfect. So this is what they look like. So at first you guys saw where I was stopping this machine and then I was starting it again. But then as I got towards the end of them, I was only starting it once, going around and then stopping it, which worked just as good, and it actually saved me some time. And it worked just the same. My last one I ran out of bobbin thread, so I had to put a new bobbin in, which I was lucky I happened to have another bobbin that had the same color of thread already wound on it. So yeah, don't they look great? I love how they're coming out. So now we're going to add our next layer to it, and that is going to be some stamping. Okay, so let me go gather up the stamps that I want to use, and whoops, wrong way, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got some of my stamping stuff out. I want to use little stamps, obviously. So I tried to pull out some of my smaller stamps, which I've got smaller stamps in here that I can use. And then I've got, this one came with some smaller little flowers and stuff. I've got these smaller ones here. I've got all of my inks out. I think I'm mainly going to be pulling off of this one here. These ones are still kind of big. I mainly pulled this one out for the text or the sentiment, which we're going to also add a sentiment to this on a separate piece of paper and then put it down. But let's concentrate on the background for now. So I just wanted a couple of little images on here. So here's a butterfly. Let's do some with the butterfly. I'm going to grab my little tiny acrylic stamp. And I never know if I'm doing these right. Okay, and as far as colors, well, you could use pretty much whatever color we wanted to use, but I want the stamp. This is all pretty colorful. Do I want to go black? Oh, I don't know if I want to go black. What if we did this color box dye ink in this fireberry? It's like a red. Let's put one here. Ooh, I like that. I like that one a lot. Let's put another one here. Here. I like that a lot. So cute. I'm really starting to like these little dye inks. Let's do another one. I like this little butterfly. How cute is she? I should pay attention to where I'm thinking of putting that sentiment, which on this one I'll probably be right there. It seems to go really well on the acetate. I don't want to overpower the tag with too many of the butterflies. So we'll do the butterfly on a couple of these. Oh, it's so cute. Can you guys see me? Okay. I could probably bring it in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I need to move this down. I think that's good. I like this fireberry color. That's really pretty. We'll put one up here. Maybe down here. We can add some more different images to it too. Kind of like it up there where there isn't anything. Maybe down here. So cute. Maybe down here. And there. Maybe one here. If my sentiment covers it up, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Goes good over the string too. Maybe we'll put one over here. Put one there. Whoops, it's stuck. There. And how about here? Okay, just a couple more. There. How about here? One more. Down here. Peeking through. And there. Okay. I should have a yellow here, and it will look pretty subtle. I've used this yellow quite a bit, so let's see how it shows up. Oh yeah, you can still see it. And here. It's not real bright, but you can still see it okay. It doesn't show up on the darker paper, so we need to try to hit it in the lighter spots. How about up here? This is so fun. I hope you guys give this a try. This is something quite different for me. And I feel like I've been kind of doing the same things over and over, and I need to get out of that habit. And so I really wanted to try something completely different than what I have been doing. Just to keep things fresh, not only on my channel, but also to keep things fresh in my own mind. The things that I do, as far as like my ATCs, I try to do different things with them, but I don't want to get into the habit of just doing ATCs. I love doing tags. And so I was actually getting into, and I do that, and I think that that's okay, where you get into the habit of, you know, you get stuck on one thing. But I think it's really important to move around. Like there was a point where I was just doing pocket letters, or I was stuck in that mode for quite some time where I was just doing a lot of pocket letters. And then I got to doing a lot of flip books. And then I tried my hand at cards. And I just don't love making cards. I like it, it's okay, but I just don't love it. So I did do that, and I did enter a couple of swaps, but for some reason I just don't love that. So I didn't do any more of those, and I really don't plan on doing any more of those. But flip books, flip books were a challenge. They're a challenge, and I wanted to like it, so I did it until I felt comfortable with them. And I did a lot of them, and they're time consuming. And then tags. I just love creating tags. And so I did a lot of tags. A lot of tags. And then I found ATCs, and oh my gosh, they stole my heart. There is just something so satisfying to me to sitting down and creating those little canvases of art that just makes my heart so happy that I could sit and just make those all day, every day, and I would be happy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the same, do I want to put the same sentiment on all of these? I have this XO stamp. And once you guys see what my plan is for these little tags, I think this will all make sense to you. I have these sentiments too. Change is beautiful. But I think I like this one. And I think that we must put the XOs on here. So I just want them random. Like that. Yeah, so make sure you watch this complete video because I do have plans for these. These are fun. I'm so glad that I decided, so glad I watched, first of all, I'm so glad that I watched Cindy's videos. If you guys haven't watched Cindy, watch her. She does some amazing stuff. I love her style. And I hope you guys give this a try. And even if you don't have the stuff, you know, that I used, like if you don't have these tags, cut some out. Just cut some out of some cardstock or some food boxes. And that's usually what I use to cut my tags. This is actually the first time I've ever used these kinds of tags. And the only reason why I decided to use these is because I had them. I won them in a giveaway, which this is the only giveaway that I've actually ever won. And I've had them for, you know, a few months, and I thought, I have those tags. I saw Cindy using them in her project. I'm like, I have some of those tags. I should get those out and use them. And so that's why I decided to get these guys out. And I would love to see you guys create some of these. So this is a piece of cardstock that I used to print something on. So I'm just going to get this out. And I think I'm going to use this one. I think I'm going to have to use my bigger block for this. I don't know if you're supposed to use the side that has the grids on it or the flat side. I think you're supposed to use the flat side. If you guys know, let me know. I am not a stamp expert. I am fairly new to all of this stamping business. And I think I'm going to try this dye ink that I got that Tuesday morning the other day. Hopefully it's not all dried up. That's the scare when you buy things on clearance. You have to wonder if it's on clearance because it's not good, you know. It looks like it's good. I'm gonna stamp it. No, that didn't, I didn't get my H good. Let's try that again. No, I didn't get my S. Am I just not doing this right? Am I supposed to use the other way? Like that? I don't know, let's try it. Why is my H not coming out even? There, that's better. Maybe I'm just not pushing hard enough. Gotta leave it, I gotta remember to leave it on there so it has the chance to soak into the paper. I know that that's one of my problems. There, getting better. Just, it's like everything, it just takes practice. You can't be an expert right away on everything. My S didn't come out that time. It's just about applying even pressure. Okay, is that enough? I don't know. We shall see. Okay, so now I just need to cut these out. Just add in some dots. A couple of the, you know, and a couple spots on the letters. You can see that. But other than that, I don't think it needs a whole lot more. Okay, so I'm going to speed you through and finish these up. Okay, so I'm just going to finish these off by adding the little dots. Let me try to get this in frame to the letters in happiness. Just 3 little dots anywhere together, just to add, it might be a little too close. I want you to be able to see, but not so much so that I'm out of frame. This is just a jelly roll pen. Hopefully my hand isn't in the way. I'm just adding 3 dots on each letter. No particular place. I just want them to be together. Like that. Just adds a little highlight, breaks up some of the pink on it. And then one of the other things that inspired me to make these tags was the beautiful fibers that Kendra sent me. And she was so generous in sending me so much of those beautiful fibers that I wanted to share some of it. I mean, I'm obviously not making all of these tags for me. What could I possibly be making these for? It's really hard for me to give things away because I want to give something to everybody that has supported me. I'm definitely not going to advertise this as a giveaway, because to me a giveaway isn't to reward people for liking this video. In particular, a giveaway to me is to reward the people that have been loyal. Now, of course, if people come to my channel because of the giveaway, well, you can't really prevent that, and that's fine. But I don't like for people just to come to my channel and like a video to win something. And in videos where they say like this video, subscribe, well, I don't know who likes a video and who dislikes a video. I can't tell that on YouTube. If other people say that, I don't know where they're getting their information from, because I don't know who's liked a video and who's disliked a video. I know that somebody's liked it and somebody's disliked it, but I don't know who. As far as subscribing, yeah, I know who's subscribed and who hasn't, but that really doesn't matter to me. I don't do this to get subscribers, and I don't do this to get likes and all of that. I just do this to inspire people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these strings off. And I so wish I could give everybody something. But what I can do is give away these. So that means each of you will have a good chance. To win one of these. Not so much to win. You are going to have to do something to get one of these. So I forgot how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11. So 11 of you will have an opportunity to get one of these in the mail. So what we're gonna do is I picked out some of fibers that I thought would look nice on here. These again are the fibers that Kendra sent. And just so that I cut them all even, I think I'm gonna do 8 inches should be enough. I'm gonna cut 8 inches. So I know Kendra would want me to share 2. You guys probably can't see me cutting this. I need to. So I've got 3. 4. So soft. I lost my end. When you think about it, I mean, this was a time-consuming project. Not terribly, but if you think about all of the steps that I took, I mean, I did make the transparent paper. Well, first I made the sprays. So had I already had those made, that would have saved me time. But I did make the paper. I did have to allow those to dry. And then I cut those out. And I also sprayed the paper, the book pages. I had some of those sprayed, but... And then sewing them. Stamping my sentiments. So there was I did a lot of steps on this project. Considering I have 11 tags at the end of it, and the amount of steps that it took, I'm pretty happy that I was able to get these done in a few hours. That's why it's good, you know, to have your papers, your inks made up. It's good to have some papers made. You know, so the next time you're spraying papers, oops, sorry. Sorry, you guys. I get so into what I'm doing and what I'm talking about that I forget to look at the camera. It's good to have your papers made, your inks made up, your papers made, and all of that, so that, one thing, it saves you time, but if not, it's not terrible. You know, if you feel overwhelmed by a project like this, because I gotta tell you, when there's a lot of steps involved, like this project had a lot of steps involved, I do get a little bit overwhelmed by it. I always get overwhelmed, and that's why I probably never pulled the sewing machine out, because that was another step that it caused anxiety, so that's probably why I never did it. But now that I did it, it's like, why? I mean, the results are amazing. I love the results of the sewing machine stitches. and it wasn't a big deal. Like, took me 2 seconds to set my sewing machine up. I love to sew. I don't know why I allow myself to get overwhelmed by that. It's silliness. And I'm not going to allow myself, my mind, to do that to me anymore. Because I love to sew. And I'm blessed to have a sewing machine. So many people aren't blessed that would die to have a sewing machine. And here I have one, and I think that it's, you know, such a burden to bring it over here and set it up when so many people would love to be able to do that. So I'm not going to do that. That's just taking something that I have for granted. I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, so here they are. I love those fibers. Okay, so do you guys want one of these? I hope so. I had so much fun making them. So let me line them up. Probably bring them down. So if you want one of these, this is what you need to do for me. I want you to tell me what brings you happiness in your life. What in your life brings you happiness? You have to put that in the comments below, okay? That's all you have to do. You don't have to subscribe. You don't even have to like this video. I mean, of course, that would be nice if you did, but it's not a requirement. Just tell me what brings you happiness. That's it. And then let me look at my calendar. Today is Tuesday, the 16th. On Friday, the 19th, I will take all of the comments and put your name in a bowl. And me and the girls, I'll let the girls pick your name out of a bowl. And we will choose the 11 people that will get one of these. Okay? And I'll make that video and let you know if your name was chosen to get one of these. So all you have to do is leave a comment below and tell me what brings you happiness. Okay, guys? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, God bless. Bye, guys.